Hello students, myself Professor Snehal Kadbhane. On today's session, I am going to explain how to solve numerical on 1D element. Under this category, today I am going to explain you how to solve step bar numerical. Objective for today's learning session will be to make students able to calculate nodal displacement, strength and then stress. And question: Question is, using direct stiffness method, determine nodal displacement of a step bar as shown in figure. Here we can observe that figure also. In this diagram we can observe there are two elements. For this first element length is 50 mm, for second element also length is 50 mm. Data is given for these two elements. For first element, Young's modulus 200 gigapascal, area is 150 mm square, while for second element, Young's modulus is 70 gigapascal, area is 100 mm square, while F1, that is load of 10 kilonewton, is applied at this node position. This was our question, that we have to find out nodal displacement. So about nodal displacement, for this diagram, as there are two elements, we can observe that here is first node, second node and then third node. And as question is, we have to determine nodal displacement for a step bar as shown in figure. Nodal displacement, so there are three nodes, that's why we will be calculating displacement at three node, that is D1 displacement at node 1, D2 displacement at node 2 and D3 displacement at node 3. So as per question, we have to calculate D1, D2 and D3, which are nodal displacement. As per question, as we have to determine three unknown displacement, that is D1, D2 and D3. D1 is nodal displacement at node 1, D2 nodal displacement at node 2, D3 nodal displacement at node 3. As per problem statement, we have to determine these three unknown displacement, but as we can observe that at node 1 it is a fixed support. As fixed support is applied at node 1, though this 10 kilonewton or 5 kilonewton load will be applied on first element, or the second element will get pulled because of F2 5 kilonewton, but at node 1, as there is a fixed support, displacement will not occur at node 1, and hence displacement at node 1 will be 0. Therefore, though we have to calculate D1, that D1 will be equals to 0, and we have to determine only D2 and D3. Now we will see how to calculate D2 and D3. In solution, first step is discretization, or we can say that in a first step, our finite element model we have to represent for the physical problem as shown in figure. Here is diagram B represents nothing but a physical problem, and for this physical problem, now we have to represent this problem into finite element model. Figure A indicates finite element model, while figure B indicates physical problem. Physical problem means a problem statement, a diagram which is given in numerical, and finite element model means discretization of this physical problem. That we can see there are two elements, first and two second element, so that two elements are presented over here in the form of link. So this element is actually presented in terms of link. First element lies between two nodes, so that first element lies between node number 1, node number 2. Second element again represented in the form of link, it lies between second and third node. Then at node 2, F1 is applied with magnitude of 10 kilonewton. Its direction is towards left hand side. At 3, F2 of magnitude 5 kilonewton is applied. Its direction is toward right hand side, and as we can see that at node 1 it is fixed, so that fixed support is indicated. So at node 1 displacement D1, force F1. At node 2 displacement D2, force F2. At node 3 displacement D3 and F3, but this F1 doesn't mean, here we have to consider that F1 value. Here F1 means force present at node 1, as like D1 means displacement at node 1. So F1 doesn't mean here 10 kilonewton, and here F2 doesn't mean 5 kilonewton. They are different. F1 means force present at node 1, as there is no force present at node 1, that's why it will be 0, and we will not consider it as a 10 kilonewton. Similarly F2, so F2 means load present at node 2. Load present at node 2 is 10 kilonewton, so this F2 is equal to this F1, and F2 will become 10 kilonewton. Similarly F3 is equals to load present at node 3. At node 3 there is a force of 5 kilonewton, therefore this F3 is equals to F2, which is of 5 kilonewton. So F2 equal to 10 and F3 is equals to 5 kilonewton. We will not have any ambiguity or confusion in this F1, F2, F3 and this F1 and F2. I repeat, here F1, F2 and F3 means force or load present at node 1, 2 and 3. So F1 is 0, F2 is equal to this 10 kilonewton and F3 is equal to this 5 kilonewton. For element connectivity table, there we represent elements and node. So in our table we can indicate that first element lies between two node number 1 and node number 2, while second element lies between node number 2 and node number 3. So in element connectivity table we simply represent element and then we represent it like. Next, means question was to determine nodal displacement. To determine nodal displacement, formula used is KD equals to F, where K is equals to stiffness matrix, D is equal to displacement at node, while F is known as a load vector. So K is stiffness matrix, D is displacement vector, F is load vector. We represent them in terms of matrices or vector, therefore they are normally expressed in this way in an array. KD is equals to F. Third step is to calculate element stiffness matrix. For stiffness matrix, formula is AE upon L, 1 minus 1 minus 1 1, equation number A, where K stands for stiffness matrix, A stands for area of element, E stands for Young's modulus for that respective element, L stands for the length of the element. From this diagram, as we can observe, there is a rule for 1D element, that number of element stiffness matrix is equal to number of element, and this is only for elemental stiffness matrix. Means if there are two elemental stiffness matrices will be formed. If there are three elements, three stiffness matrices will be formed. If there is only one element, in that case only one stiffness matrix will be formed. So how many elemental stiffness matrices will be formed, it completely depends or is directly proportional to how many elements are present. In this diagram A, as we can observe, there are two elements, therefore two elemental stiffness matrices will be formed. We will calculate K1 for element 1 and we will be calculating K2 for element 2. So we have to calculate now K1 and K2. First step number 3A, to calculate K1, that is elemental stiffness matrix for first element. K1 means stiffness matrix for element 1 and K2 means elemental stiffness matrix for element 2. General formulation is K is equals to AE upon L 1 minus 1 minus 1 1. Therefore, as we have to calculate now K1 for element 1, in that case our formula will get changed to K1 is equals to A1 E1 upon L1, where this 1 everywhere it stands for the element 1, means K1 is stiffness matrix for first element, area of first element, Young's modulus of first element, length of first element. While this 1 2 and 1 2 they represents nodal position, that this K1 first element, it lies between node number 1 and node number 2. That's why it is 1 2 1 2, as well as it represents number of column, its location, that first row, second row, first column, second column. From data we will put value of area, Young's modulus and length. We make sure that all unit will be in Newton per mm and then mm. So we will make respective conversion. After putting value, we get K1 is equals to, we keep 10 raised to 5 power outside, so we get 6 minus 6 minus 6 6, equation number 3. We calculate K2 for second element. Again, from data we will put value of A2, E2 and L2, as it is K2 means stiffness matrix for second element. That's why we will consider A2 E2 upon L2. From data we will put value of A2, E2 and L2. We will convert unit into Newton and then mm. Now 2 and 3, as we can observe that K2 stands for the second element. Second element lies between node number 2 and 3. That's why it is 2 and 3, 2 and 3, as well as it represents your now second column, third column, second row and third row when we will formulate global stiffness matrix. And for elemental it will be again first and second column, first row and second row. After putting all value, we get 10 raised to 5 into, again power is kept constant outside, we get 1.4 minus 1.4 minus 1.4 and then 1. Step number 4 is formulation of global stiffness matrix. In this problem, as there are 3 nodes with each with 1 degree of freedom, so hence 3 by 3 matrix will be formed. K is equal to K1 plus K2. K1 is 10 raised to 5, 6 minus 6 minus 6 6, equation number 3. Here is K2 10 raised to 5, 1.4 minus 1.4 minus 1.4 1.4. We know formula K is equal to K1 plus K2. We can observe K1 is of order 2 by 2, K2 is also order of 2 by 2, but K will be formulated of order 3 by 3, because though it is 2 by 2 and 2 by 2 for K1 and K2, but their nodal positions are different. We can observe, so we have 1, 2 and 3 as well as 1, 2 and 3. It means we have to consider 3 column and 3 row. We carry element in this way. While making addition of 2 elemental stiffness matrices, this 10 raised to 5 is taken outside common. Then at 1 1 there is a 6, at 2 1 there is minus 6. Then similarly at 1 2, at 1 and 2 minus 6, at 2 2 there is a 6. But as we can observe, when we will carry element of K2, just we have calculated of K1, so while carrying elements of K2, here it is 1.4 at location 2 2, here it was 6, and from this it is 1.4, so we will make addition of that 6 and 1.4. Again 3 2 minus 1.4, so 3 2 minus 1.4. In similar way we will complete here. As we can observe here, there is no element as such 3 1, so 3 1 is 0. Here there is no element which is 1 3, therefore 1 3 is 0. And finally we get a global stiffness matrix K, equation number 9. Step number 5, we write equation relating stiffness and displacement and force in global term. Original equation was KD equal to F. We represent in terms of array, equation number 10. So here we can represent that KD equals to F. K means global stiffness matrix that just now we have calculated. D is nothing but displacement vector. From diagram it was clear there are three displacement D1, D2 and D3 because there are three node. We have formulated load vector also as there are three node. So as like displacement vector, load vector will be also formulated F1, F2 and F3, that is load present at node 1, 2 and 3. From diagram we can observe boundary condition also. First boundary condition is that at node 1 there is a fixed support. So here is a fixed support and therefore D1 is equal to 0, means here D1 is equals to 0. At node 2, here at node 2 there is a load of minus 10 into 10 raised to 3 Newton. Why first of all minus? Because this load of 10 kilonewton is towards left hand side, so we will consider it as a minus. It is in kilonewton, here it is converted into Newton. Similarly at node 3 there is F3 that is equals to 5 kilonewton, so we have considered positive because it is acting towards right side. Again I repeat, here it is F2 and F3 because we are considering load present at node 2, load present at node 3, so we will not get confused between this F2 and this notation F1. F2 means F1 and F3 means this F2. Step number 6 is elimination approach. How to apply elimination approach? We eliminate that row and column of a global stiffness matrix where displacement is equal to 0. From diagram we can observe that fixed support is applied at node 1. So as node 1 is fixed and therefore displacement will be 0 at this node 1, means D1 is equal to 0. So we will be eliminating first row and first column. So we eliminate that row and that column for which displacement is 0 or it is fixed. For this numerical it is at node 1. So eliminating first row and first column, this 3 by 3 matrix will be converted into 2 by 2. So equation number 14 is our equilibrium equation after applying elimination approach. We can observe these 4 elements are carried, 10 raised to 5 carried, D2, D3 and these 2 elements. Now step number 7 is converting matrix into simultaneous equation. So this 2 by 2 matrix equation number 14 can be solved by simultaneous equation methodology. After solving these two equations, that is equation number 16 and equation number 18, we get D2 as minus 0.5183 and D3 we get minus 0.1226. So answers are nodal displacement D1 is 0 because at node 1 there is a fixed support. D2 is equal to minus 0.1583 mm while D3 is equal to minus 0.1226